we're back for day 3.
Hi.
Hey. So we're here with Kim Vu. She's a lettering artist and graphic designer here in San Francisco. I'm Ari. I work at Adobe on the fonts team. So for those of you that are new to this segment that we've done for the last 3 days, we've gone through a few different lettering styles that Kim has done. She does these really cool plant letter pins. Yesterday she showed us her process for sketching a cool, like, funky lettering.
Some custom styles.
Yeah, and she put that on her Instagram. So be sure to look on her Instagram for yesterday's finished product. Those of you that were in the stream and voted for which quote you wanted, check out what she did with that. It's really cool.
Yeah, it was so fun to have everybody's suggestions and work it out with everybody, so that was really fun.
Yeah, thanks for everyone's input. And hi to everyone who's joined. Hi, Daniela from Portugal. Joao, you're, I think, from Portugal too, right? Or Brazil. Cello. Jordan, hi again. Hi, Heidi. Hi, Val. Hi, Kita. So excited and sad because it's the last day.
Oh, me too.
Yeah,
It went by so fast.
Yeah. Kita loves your earrings.
Oh, thanks, Kita.
Hi, Dana. Hi, Boyana. Ricardo. Hi, George. Yes, I'm Greek. Tikanis Yorgo, Carlos Irthes.
Oh.
Alicia, hi from Austin. Let us know where else you're from. We have a Greek person. We had one person from Vietnam.
We had one person from Vietnam.
Anyone
and
new
we
from
can get
Vietnam?
one more.
Yeah. So I'm originally from Greece, and Kim is originally from Vietnam. So that's why we were looking for that.
Yeah.
Blink Ink is from Berlin. Oh, Jordan loves our outfits. Thank you. Susan's from Connecticut. Daniela's from Mexico. Ashraf says, hey, creative world.
Hey.
Hey, Ariana. I like your spelling of your name, Ariana. It's very unique.
How do you pronounce your full name, by the way? Because I always call you Ari.
Yeah, my full name is Ariadne.
Ariadne.
So it's similar to Ariana. Oh, George answered in Greek. We're having our own private conversation. But let's not do it too much, because then we'll say secret stuff. Hi, Jose. Hi, Paco. Hi, Keith. Hi, Jessica from Washington, D.C. Great. So we have everyone here, everyone who matters.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining.
We're having more friends join, I'm sure. So let's see what you're going to do today. I'm excited for day 3's project.
So I'm going to do some script and flourishes, but I just want to quickly show what I did the first 2 days.
Yeah.
So this is the plant letters, the cactus letters I did, and then these are the other ones. I finished that P that we started on the first day, and then this was yesterday's, and we worked through some G options with the chat, so that was really fun.
Did people tell you which G they like on Instagram?
Well, what was funny was yesterday we chose the second one. I mean, the first one right here. And that was kind of the majority of the chat from yesterday. But on Instagram, everybody loves the 2-story one.
Well, you did change it, though, from...
I did change it a little bit.
I think it's really cool. It's better now than it was in the live stream, so maybe that's why people liked it.
I think it was just the whole process of working through it. But yeah, you just got to work through your problems sometimes.
Yeah.
So let's get started with script. My pen. So I'm just gonna sketch out the general composition. But I was thinking of doing the phrase "stay curious."
Stay curious.
Yeah. I feel like that's appropriate for today, right?
Yeah. Hi, Lynn from Quebec City. Oh, bonjour. I haven't been to Quebec City, but I've been to Montreal. And I never made it to your city. I want to go next time. Hi, Anantha. Hi, Ka from Russia. So you start with these guidelines, and then you start sketching.
Yeah, it's good to start with some rough guidelines. Usually there's more to it, like the ascender and the X height, but it's just good to start with the baseline when you're sketching fast. Because you want to get your ideas out as fast as you can, you know?
Yeah. Hi, Burke. Hi, Robert from Florida. Hi, Annie. Keep letting us know where you're from. Oh, that looks good already.
I love doing script. That's the first thing that I learned and taught myself when I started lettering.
Yeah.
So it just comes so natural. It comes naturally to me when I do it.
Yeah.
And it's so fun because it's very organic.
Okay, so we're done.
We're done.
Okay, thanks everyone.
Thanks for joining in. We'll see you next week. Just kidding.
Just kidding.
Stay, please. So I did a little wavy option, but I feel like I should do like maybe a straight version.
Hi, Amanda, Giselle, Sheku. Welcome. So for those of you that just joined, we've been here with Kim Vu for the last 2 days, and today she's doing script lettering. She's showing us her process. This is just her sketching on the Wacom Cintiq tablet with her stylus, and she's just getting her ideas out to see what works and composing this phrase, stay curious. So this is very raw. We're watching her from the very beginning, and we'll see the process to the end. And just to give you more about today, we also will be doing portfolio reviews. So check out the tab above the chat that says portfolio reviews and submit your portfolio, and we will look at 2 of them. You may be one of them. And it's a great opportunity to have your portfolio shown on stream and get a critique from Kim and myself. And that'll help you a lot to just refine some stuff, see what works, see what advice Kim has for you on Behance. Hi, Lucky. Hi, Eva, Indonesia and Germany. Hi, Calvin. Stefan from Munich. Mauro from Italy. Where in Italy are you, Mauro? Kita says, my goodness, that's beautiful already. Yeah, that's why I said we can just go home now.
I like to do, with script, there's not a lot of compositions you can do because I feel like it's hard with the letter forms when it's connected to do like more funky compositions. So I usually like to do this wavy line, a straight version, and maybe like a slanted version.
Okay, and then you just see which one you like the best?
Yeah.
Or are we gonna ask the chat?
I feel like I have an idea of what I want to do.
Okay.
But I can definitely ask for everybody's opinion on what they like best, for sure.
Yeah, we don't have to do what they say.
Yeah.
We'll listen.
We're good listeners.
Kendrim from Kosovo. Miriam from Chicago. Maya from Canada. Oh, Mauro's from Porto San Giorgio on the beach. That sounds wonderful.
Are you watching from the beach?
Be careful you don't get your laptop wet. I'm actually looking up where Porto San Giorgio is because I want to learn more about Italian geography.
Ooh, have you been to Italy?
No.
Oh, I want to go.
I went when I was a baby, so I don't remember. So I'm saying I haven't been. But I'm going to go to the Amalfi Coast this year.
Oh,
So
that's
I'm
going to be
excited.
so pretty.
Yeah. But you're on the other side, Mauro.
Italy
Nice
has
of
a lot of really good food, too.
Yeah.
How are you going to figure out what you want to do when you're there? There's so many options.
There's too many options. I don't know.
You should just stay there. Like, I want to be here for a while.
Yeah. Daniela asked what you're using to draw. So Kim is using a Wacom Cintiq 13-inch with a stylus, and she's mirrored her displays, so she's drawing straight into Photoshop. And she's also using her laptop for keyboard shortcuts, so she has her left hand on the laptop, right hand on the Wacom. Hey, Anthony. Hi, Jacqueline. How did you think of this quote, stay curious?
I think that it's a little bit of what I what I do is I'm always learning. I don't know, I think it's really important to always be learning, being curious, and I've actually always wanted to write it. I just never had a chance to do it. So I'm doing it here today.
Cool. I usually have trouble thinking of quotes to letter.
It is hard.
I think of them when I'm like on the bus or something, and then when I actually have time, I'm like, wait, what do I write?
Do you have a little notebook that you bring with you?
I should do that.
That's what I do. Like, I have this little notebook here.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of like sayings.
Oh, nice.
There's a lot of, so it's a mix between motivational quotes, which I really like, and really silly ones like yesterday, oh my god, snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And these just give me ideas for later.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be very simple for me to just write down my ideas, but I need someone to remind me that. When did you start lettering?
I feel like maybe 3 years ago, I seriously started pursuing it. I've done a little bit of it when I worked at Old Navy, because I did the graphics for the baby apparel. And I loved doing any of the shirts that had the quotes on it.
Yeah.
And so I think after a while, I was like, I really like this. I should actually look into it. And 3 years ago, I started going to classes and buying books to learn more about it. And also a lot of practice.
Hi, Ashraf from Morocco. Calvin loves the slanted one that you're doing right now.
Calvin.
We already have a vote for the slanted one.
I am partial to the slanted one for sure.
The C and S interlock is a difficult one. Like how interaction. Their interaction is interesting.
Yeah.
Have you ever done a class on composition for
I
lettering?
haven't. I haven't.
Me neither. I want to do that.
I haven't because I feel like there's so much more about it I need to learn.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be teaching people the wrong things. But I have taught a class on brush lettering. But maybe once I get better at the composition, I'll definitely do a class.
Yeah.
And it's usually here in San Francisco when I teach.
Cool. I need to learn more about composition and how to start out a piece.
Did they teach you that? They didn't have that as a class
No.
at Type Cooper?
It was mostly about designing fonts, so it's less about designing like a piece, like an art piece or a lettering piece.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because you're learning all the fundamentals with type.
Does Kim use a reference when she works or just from memory?
Ah, good question. When it comes to script, it's from memory because I'm just going off what I learned about how the pen influences the way the script is written. And I've also done it for so long that it just becomes memory. I think in the beginning I did use a reference, but after a while you build up that muscle memory. In terms of other pieces I've done, like any serif or sans serif type, I definitely use a reference for that. Yeah, because I'm not as informed in those styles yet.
Yeah. And script is more fluid. It can be more expressive than the other styles. So it's easier to do your own thing. Whereas if you're doing a serif letter and you put a serif somewhere random, it looks bad.
Yeah, definitely.
You're like, I think there's a serif here. It's like, no, that's just an extra thing.
And I'm always still learning too, because there's a couple of pieces that I've done that I've been proud of that I put out, and I've met people that are like, that's not where you're supposed to put that serif.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, but it's all learning. You don't know that naturally.
Yeah. Okay, so I think I just kind of got out some sketches. I already have an idea of what I want to do because it's just usually my preference, but I would love to hear people's opinions for sure. So I'm just going to label it.
All right, let's get the votes. It's nice that we saw your hand moving too.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome. Hand model.
Hand cam. Wait, it's this way. There you go.
And maybe you can vote 1, 2, or 3. We also are having the chat and win soon.
What are we winning?
We're winning Sticker Mule. So we are giving away a 100. I'm like, what are we giving away? 100 custom stickers for free that you can get on Sticker Mule, and that will be given away in 14 minutes. So stay in the chat. You don't have to do anything except be active in the chat, and I'll give you the signal once we're ready, and then we pick a random person and they win that Sticker Mule prize. Okay, 3,
3,
2, 3, 1.
1 or 3.
3. Hey, Kushal.
Like 3 of us.
I think 3 is the most popular.
Cool. Well, you guys read my mind because 3 was also my favorite.
Oh. It was all staged.
It was all staged. Good job, guys. Pick 3, my lord.
Hi, Robbie. Good to have you back.
Awesome. Well, 3 it is, guys.
Cool. Amanda already ordered her own design stickers from Sticker Mule.
Oh, cool. What did you make, Amanda? Let us know.
Oh my gosh, the other ones are gone? Oh.
Into the group graveyard.
The graveyard.
Yeah, do you guys delete your sketches? I feel like I have, like, on the sides of my artboard, there's just, like, hundreds and hundreds of iterations.
Whoa. I delete mine because I just have too much stuff. It's like clearing out your clutter in your room. If I have too many things on my computer, I get nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's too much stuff. Like, I'll never look at this again.
It is good to hide it because after a while, if you're actually making a final product and you have all these options, your mind can get cluttered with decisions on what to do for that piece. So yeah, it's good to put it away.
Yeah, but also good to save things if you can do it in an organized way.
Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna work on 3. So I talked about how I'm gonna be also doing flourishes. So I'm just gonna walk through what I think about when I'm adding flourishes. And so usually flourishes you add to balance out a piece, to fill in some negative space, or it can be purely decorative. It can be any of those things, but you have to at least know why you're doing it. But those are usually the 3 things that you think about when you're doing it.
What's your favorite letter to draw?
Ooh, I mean, the K is great.
Oh, yeah?
The K is great. In script, I love drawing the S's. And yesterday, though, I actually found out that I love doing the G.
Yeah.
Because there's so many options you can do. What's yours?
I like capital R. I love A. Well, those are my initials, AR. It's so predictable.
You're like, I don't know where I got those letters from.
I also like S's, especially with scripts, especially if it's the terminal S, so the last S in a word, just like curious. You can do so much with it.
Yeah, there's so many options.
Yeah, and when you flourish it, you can have it, like the flourish go out of the word or back into the word.
So many things.
So many things.
Okay, so when I'm doing a flourish, I'll do the sketch first, and then I kind of draw a very rough, like, frame, I guess. Pretty much just how I want the overall shape to look like.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Because you can do this, or maybe you want your piece to be more horizontal, you know? But it's basically a guideline for me to know where to fill in the spaces with the flourishes. I think I want to make it like a nice tight circle because I want to post this on Instagram later.
Yeah. A couple people are asking about how you practice and if you do warm-ups. Like, do you do a practice of drawing curves repeatedly or lines? How have you honed your skills?
Yeah. In terms of script, I definitely practice. And this is what I tell my students in my class is you have to practice to get better, but it's intimidating to set aside an hour each day to do it. So I tell everybody, do 15 minutes a day. 15 minutes is not that big of a deal. And I do exercises, so I'll just quickly show what some of those look like. So they're drills. So I practice drawing the stem Because these are kind of base shapes for other letters. You know, you practice your O's. And then maybe a swash.
And you do them without lines?
Well, I do it with lines. I'm just quickly showing you kind of like the basic exercises that I do.
Yeah, and being able to modulate your thicks and thins.
Yeah.
That's good practice.
Because if you actually look at, they don't look like letters right now, but this guy right here, that's your N, right? This guy right here, that's your U, and then your Y.
Yeah, they're all components of other letters. And that top stem that looks like an L, it could be part of the D, it could be part of the L, it could be a T.
Yeah.
So just getting those basic shapes is really useful.
Yeah. So definitely, yeah, I definitely do drills. And if you buy a calligraphy book, or there was that one book that we showed yesterday, which was like a sign painting book.
Yeah.
They all have basic drills like this in there for you to practice. So definitely pick one up.
Yeah. Or you can just like make lined paper and use your pencil and do loops. Like just start with that. Then use a pen, like a brush pen or something that will modulate your thickness if you put more pressure, and try to be very controlled about how much pressure you can put down. Just by doing curves, loops, shapes like that, and you'll get better, I promise.
So for adding flourishes, the good places to add are the beginning and ends of letters. You know, that's where it looks the most natural. So for example, this Y here, I want to fill in the space, so I'm actually probably going to make this bigger. This T.
Amanda loves doing whole pages of loops.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's what you need to do, you know?
Yeah.
And a fun thing I like to do also is redo a piece I've done a year later.
Oh, yeah.
So you can
That's
see how far you've come.
Satisfying.
It is.
To see.
So if you're ever feeling insecure about your work, do an old piece and see how far you've come.
Yeah. Gaurav said you should increase smoothing.
I should. I'm just in the sketching process, so I'll definitely do that.
This is still rough. It's not finished yet. Was it this ABC of custom lettering that you were talking about?
Is
That
it?
sign painting
There's
one?
another one. Speedball.
Oh,
textbook.
yeah, the speedball. That was really loud.
Yeah, that was
The speedball textbook. I'll show you Maya. So it's the speedball textbook, this one here that we were talking about, that has different exercises and shows you a lot of different styles.
And they have a lot of basic form stuff.
And maybe Val can put the link in there. It says $120, but you can get it used.
Yeah.
Or if you go to a used bookstore, sometimes you'll find that, or other older books. I recommend older lettering books because lettering has become so trendy that there's a lot of new ones and the quality is not as consistent. Like back in the day, if you made a book on calligraphy or lettering, you were a professional calligrapher and you, I mean, for the most part, and you had a lot of training and skills. So those books like from before, from the 90s and before, I feel are more better for a beginner to learn some basic skills and train themselves. Ella says, is there a rule or key to take note of when it comes to flourishing and its directions?
Yeah, there's a couple of things there's a couple rules that you can think about. One is you never cross the two thick lines. And it's always good to bring the swash back into your piece. And whatever shape that your style that your letters are, like the curves, it's good to emulate that with the same style in your flourishes as well. Because if you do kind of shapes like this, and I think if your flourish is more like round instead of oval, it doesn't feel like it fits with the piece.
In general, oval-based flourishes are more pleasing to me. I've always noticed, like, if I'm trying to do something and I redo it and do it more oval, it looks much better.
Yeah. And you can also, even though I said in the beginning, like the beginning and ends of letters, and then maybe the beginning, the end of the word is good, you can also break up your word and create a swash out of this as well, you know?
Yeah. And then just bring the rest in, and then you're done. How much do you think is too much, though? Have you seen lettering pieces that everything's flourished and you can't really read it?
Yes, definitely.
How do you balance that?
I think that the goal, flourishes are supposed to be accents to your letters. So when it becomes too much where you can't read what the word is anymore, that's when you know that you've had too much.
At the end of the day, it's words that we're writing. So if you want to do like a painting of flourishes, that's great. But if you're doing a composition with words, you want the letters to be the main focus. And it helps to make the flourishes also lighter or thinner than the letters so that you still have the emphasis on the letters. Sometimes I do that. Thanks, Val. She found a link with the Speedball book for $15.
Yay, Val.
And free shipping.
Whoa.
Wow. I love that.
Val coming through.
I need that link, actually. I don't have that book.
It's a good book.
I'm getting the link, Val.
That book has a lot of additions.
Yeah.
So I think that the reason why that one is so expensive is it's one of the original versions.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
The more current ones are around $15.
Oh, this is the 24th edition. Wow. That's a lot of editions. I'm buying it. Don't show my screen. I'm putting my credit card.
Everybody buy yourself a car with Ari's credit card.
I'll just keep the link. What do you use to get your hand lettering into Photoshop or Illustrator? I use Adobe Capture, but sometimes that can be clunky.
I was actually going to try using Adobe Capture today. I want to know what Matt means about clunky, because maybe I can show you how to fix that in Photoshop.
Yeah. I would say, if I was saying it was clunky, I would say it's because if you bring a capture illustration into Illustrator, you have a ton of extraneous points, and it's not really smooth. So what I've heard from a lot of people is that they'll use Capture to get that shape, and then they'll go into Illustrator and use it as a background and actually draw the vectors again. Okay, so Chat and Win is coming up in 15 seconds. So all you have to do is stay active in the chat, and we'll go away for a couple seconds, and then we'll pick a winner.
Yeah.
So in the Chat and Win, just say "stay curious" or another favorite phrase you have.
Yeah.
So let's start. Let's go. We're back. Start
Hey.
chatting, everyone. I hope you've been chatting. I've been seeing a little bit. Hi, Pokey.
Oh, welcome back, Pokey.
Everyone, give us your favorite phrase in the chat. Are you staying curious? Okay, here we go. Miriam, Alexander, Anantha, Jamie, Manuel, Alice, Steve. Keep designing. That's a great phrase.
That's a good one.
Stay awesome, peeps.
Peck wanted me to write impeccable today.
Peck is going to be live later. Maya, Jordan, Radoslav.
Maximum effort. What is the ...
That's the phrase, ... Okay, congrats,
Woo!
Anantha. Yay! Sticker mule. What stickers are you going to make, Anantha? And for those of you that didn't win, no worries, because you can use this link to get a discount. You can get 10 stickers for $1 on Sticker Mule. Just use that link and the discount's yours, just from all of us to all of you. Okay. All that excitement got me fired up.
Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna do one more option because I feel like I'm getting a good idea of what works.
I like this. This is the kind of thing you can't do on paper. Just keep copying it and doing different designs.
Yeah, you gotta work fast when you're sketching, you know?
Yeah. And small. It's pretty small, so it's easier to do things faster. Anantha says, wow, thank you. Congrats.
Enjoy.
Pokey says, those are beautiful, Kim.
Thanks, Pokey.
Lynn asks, do you sell your sayings that you hand letter as posters?
People have been telling me to do that. I do not, but I will because I feel like that's a great idea. But I need to find a good platform to sell it on. And a good printer too.
Hey Munir, hey Eldar. Eldar is welcoming everyone.
Eldar is our second host.
Debbie, first time here from the UK. Welcome, Debbie. Hope this isn't the last time. Alicia, so Kim is very accustomed to working with the Wacom. So she just got an iPad. She's going to try using it, but she can't say which one she recommends yet.
I have the latest. I know, right? I mean, I can tell you what I have.
Yeah.
I have the latest iPad. People that also have it, my friends who I've asked, like it.
Yeah.
But I haven't had a chance to actually use it. Mainly because I really enjoy doing keyboard shortcuts.
Yes. Once you get used to something, it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is new? Debbie's new to Adobe Live. Do we have anyone else who just joined? Tell us where you're from. Hey, Rocio. You haven't missed that much. We've been doing script lettering. Kim has done a few different options for this quote, and she's showing us how she incorporates flourishes. And this is all pretty rough. It's just to give us an idea of which flourishes would work best with the composition. Oh, Pokey is asking us if we ever had a favorite video game or board game as a kid.
Yes, definitely. Othello's really good.
Oh. I don't know any games.
Video game. I am not very good at playing video games because I feel like there's a lot of strategy and buttons I need to figure out.
So many buttons.
But my only video game that I actually really like playing is Tekken.
Okay.
Because you just have to push, I think, 2 buttons to fight.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
easier. I'm an only child, so I didn't have anyone to play games with.
What did you play with then as a child?
Just had my imagination. Oh, I played with like dolls and I did a lot of art. It was more of that kind of thing. Things you can do alone. Talitha from Charleston. Hi. Monir's new to Adobe Live for today. Yeah, don't say that you're new because we know you for a long time. Lauren, Adobe Draw or Adobe Sketch? Well, it depends what you want to do. So with Adobe Draw, you get vectors and you can just go straight into Illustrator and work on them. You can also create something that can be infinitely enlarged, whereas on Sketch, you're working with raster, so if you enlarge something, it might get a little pixelated, but it's easier to create like a more artistic sketch on Sketch. So they're two different applications. Ariana was also an only child. We're so special. Kim should take a line from a song and make it into typographic posters.
Ah. I wonder what I've always wondered about, because I do quotes sometimes from movies, and I always wonder about what the licensing or copyright thing is with that, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. Does anyone know in the chat if you have to have some sort of special license to use quotes from songs or movies? I feel like if it's not the actual film, it should be okay, but I don't know.
Oh, like Frozen 2 or something.
I don't know. It might differ. Like some quotes might be copyrighted because they're used as marketing for the film or something. Pokey says, I think as an artist, Photoshop is the best for creative and looser painting, even for lettering.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And actually, I think we talked about this the first day. I like more hand-done stuff. So a lot of my work is in Photoshop because I don't like the perfect lines when I finish.
Desiree says, new to hand lettering, are there any resources you'd recommend? Yes, we've talked about some books that we both own, and Val had just put the link up for the Speedball book, which is a really good foundational book. So you should rewind a little bit or watch yesterday's stream where we showed a few books that we just showed the links on Amazon that you can buy them. And
yeah, it was Jessica Hish's and Martina Flores' book. That was really good references to start with.
Yeah, so Val, if you can put the links to Jessica and Martina's books. Martina's is The Golden Secrets of Lettering, and Jessica's is something lettering. I forgot the title.
In
Progress.
Progress. One of those. And also, I take a lot of pictures when I'm walking around the city of signs. So keep a reference folder in your phone or in your computer of certain styles too to look back on when you practice.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just as simple as seeing someone else's style, and then you remind yourself like, oh, I really like that. I can try to emulate that, or it inspires me to do something of my own that I never realized I could do. Because if you just stick with your own style, you can get in a rut.
So I think I'm gonna go with this third one right here because I feel like it's a little more balanced than, because there's some negative spaces in the second one. That's not really doing it for me. This wash right here I feel like looks a little forced. Like it doesn't feel like it fits with the other curves. So yeah, I'm gonna go with this third one.
Cool. So what happens now? When you decide what you're gonna do?
Oh, well, I'm just gonna refine it just a little bit more, and then I'm gonna take it to pen and paper.
Oh, pen and paper.
We're going old school, guys.
So for today, we are doing portfolio reviews. The deadline is in 49 minutes. All you have to do is click on the portfolio tab right above the chat here on Behance, and you can submit your portfolio, and maybe you'll be one of the lucky ones that we review. We'll give you some feedback, and it's an opportunity to have your portfolio shown on the live stream. I know it's a little intimidating, but I think it's a great way to get advice.
Also, I just turned on the smoothing. I forgot who mentioned it before,
yeah.
but it's a little bit higher now because I'm refining it.
Okay, smoothing is higher.
Just gonna lower the opacity.
Okay, Val is posting the titles of the books. And Debbie, you were right with the title you asked about. That is the one that we were talking about. Joey says Capture is great for lettering that you find in the wild. That's true. So you can not only take a picture, you can use Adobe Capture and capture that shape. And then that usually helps you to get a more crisp black and white shape that you can use if you want to have it as a background and trace it or riff on that. If you find a sign you like in the wild and you want to do something similar, having that on Capture is a good way to eliminate all of the environmental stuff you would get in a picture. Hi, Ravikanth. Welcome. Lynn said, I had purchased a lettering library mega bundle with a boatload of old lettering books.
Whoa, where's that?
That's crazy. How many? It sounds huge. Now she has to do something with them. Yeah, I have a lot of books that I haven't opened, I have to say. It's very sad.
Do you have one that you reference a lot when you look at stuff? Because I really like the Jessica's book a lot.
Yeah, I look at that a lot. I also have another book that I showed yesterday, specifically on brush lettering. It's a little older. And then I have one book that I haven't mentioned for more calligraphy stuff and for flourishes. I referenced the Bickham book.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Let me find that. It's a really good. So George Bickham was a calligrapher and the universal penman. That's what it's called.
Oh, let me see.
So this is it.
Yeah, I have that one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So he was a calligrapher, and this is all stuff that he created, and they were like engraved and printed using copper plate. And all the flourishes in there are crazy. He does amazing things, and all of this stuff in there is examples of what people used to use calligraphy for, and some of it is pretty mundane stuff like receipts or accountant things, and it just shows you how much care was put into lettering at that time. So I highly recommend getting that book and just tracing it, like even using tracing paper and a pencil at first and using that as a drill, and then trying to use a pointed pen and ink to emulate those shapes. Kita says, how do you manage to work from home?
I used to work from home, and it was very distracting because I would sleep a lot and eat a lot of snacks. But when I did, the one thing that did help was putting on just TV shows. But then I did have to go to the coffee shop once in a while to get myself up and out there. And now I actually have a WeWork account. So I go to a separate place to work.
Oh, that's
and I find
good.
that to be more efficient. So if you do work from home, I would recommend like not actually working from your home and going somewhere else.
Yeah, it's hard to have a routine when you're at home. Sometimes if I'm working from home, I just don't even change. I'm like, oh, I'll just stay in my pajamas, and then you don't really feel motivated.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have to leave, you have to like get ready, have your routine, and that gives you the motivation for the day. So Kim, are you using the same brush That mango one.
Yeah. Oops, what did I just do?
She's using one of the Kyle Webster brushes.
It's the manga,
We keep forgetting the name.
something rough. Manga basic rough.
Manga Basic Rough. Mohammed says, why don't you use the pen tool for overwriting? Do you mean for tracing it using the pen tool?
Um,
know.
yeah, I think I'm faster with drawing it than with the pen tool.
Yeah.
And since this is a sketch, just going as fast as you can is the goal.
Definitely. Desiree says, I find going to the local library works well. I find a corner to sit in and it's nice and quiet.
Oh yeah, that's a good
nice.
idea too.
Good use of a public space. Yes, Photoshop has way too many brushes. I agree. It's hard to keep up with everything. And it takes a while to experiment with them all to see what you want to use. Lynn says, time is money. I don't know what that relates to, but it's true.
It is. Maybe it's just another quote.
Oh, because you were saying being faster.
Oh, yes.
I'm like, okay, time is money.
But then if you're hourly, then you should go slower.
Oh. Yeah, it depends. Are you charging people hourly?
Yeah. Yeah. It depends on the project.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody said something about...
Oh, Ashraf, I think if you use a quote from a song or movie, at least if it's not in the marketing or advertising or you're not getting any money out of it, for personal purposes, it's fine to use, I guess. Okay, that wasn't 100% definitive, but I see what you mean. And when you're doing personal projects, totally, you can do that. But we were talking about like selling posters with quotes on them.
Yeah.
So it's good to just do your research when you're going to profit off of something and make sure that you're not violating anything.
It's interesting, too, because sometimes you don't know if something came from a song because certain lyrics become just kind of universal sayings.
Yeah.
And you can accidentally, do something without knowing that it
Isn't
came
the
from a
Happy
song.
Birthday song like copyrighted?
Nobody can do Happy Birthday.
Some songs, I mean, not that you can't sing it, but some things that we think are just in the public sphere are actually owned by people, so it's good to make sure. Techie, how to get started with this? Well, rewind and look at how Kim started out. She just started out using her tablet and sketching things roughly in Photoshop. A lot of other people prefer to work on pen and paper first. She likes to do it afterwards because using the stylus and using the tablet in Photoshop, you can just like copy paste things really quickly and get your ideas out there and see what works best. So, and then as far as starting with lettering, a lot of practice. We've talked about some books that you can look at. If you rewind or if you look up in the chat, Val has posted those titles. So all of us just started by practicing a lot and taking workshops or following people, watching videos online. There's a lot of Skillshare classes you can look at. But after that, it's just practice. No one is inherently good at lettering. No one can just sit there and be like, oh, this is what I did, and now it's a lettering piece. It takes years of working on it. I agree, Jessica. We'll give our criticism in a second. So everyone's saying that the C now could be mistaken for an E.
Definitely.
So I feel like that flourish, but you want to stay in that shape.
Yeah.
It needs to come out
Yeah.
more and not create this maybe just straight out somehow? Or
Yeah. Well, so the other thing too is that this is kind of just the skeleton of the shape, and I'm actually going to be going over it with a brush pen.
yeah.
So when you see the thick and thins,
Yeah,
the
the C
swash
part is going to be much thicker.
Yeah, yeah. But that's a good point. Doing flourishes on C's, you have to definitely be very careful about it not looking like an E.
Yeah.
But you made a good point though about having it come out a little bit more, so I'm definitely gonna fix that.
Yeah, you have the opportunity to create your frame with that flourish. So why not bring it out?
Bringing it out, guys.
Hello, Amar. So it's less than 40 minutes to submit your portfolio. And after that, we'll be looking at those portfolios that we select. Anantha bought stickers already.
Wow.
Wow, good job. That's good. Sometimes I get like gift certificates or promotions and I don't use it right away, and then like 6 months later I realize, oh, I have this free thing. So it's good to take advantage right away.
Yeah. Okay, so now that I have the skeleton, I'm gonna go over it with my brush pen.
Okay.
So I'll show you.
Hey, Ken. Kim, what's your favorite kind of hand lettering work?
Hand lettering project.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't have one really because I think in the beginning I talked about how I like to work in different mediums. Sign painting, digitally, or in doing motion projects. So I don't have a favorite. I think what makes me happy is to be able to do different mediums with hand lettering.
Cool.
But I am looking to do more murals, so
Yeah.
definitely hit me up for that.
Anyone who has a mural, they need to get done.
Okay, so you will switch to the screen, this guy.
Okay. So we'll switch to the GoPro to show how she traces using paper on her Wacom tablet. I did not expect this. Very cool.
This is gonna be a little tricky because the light in the studio is a lot brighter than I expected.
Oh, the Wacom doesn't get brighter?
Well, I mean, I do this at home all the time, but it's always brighter to me. But
Yeah.
I think with the studio lights,
Okay, so we can't change the brightness of the tablet any more than we have.
yeah.
But let's see what we can do.
Yeah. Hello.
Maybe move it.
No, you can use. I'll use this camera. It'll be easier.
Oh,
Yeah, 'cause that GoPro
use a
is
different
fine.
camera. So she's now with a piece of paper over her Wacom tablet and doing live brush lettering. It's not easy to have a lot of people watching you do that, so
Everybody look away.
don't look. Look at me, don't look at her. Lynn says, dim the lights.
Break out the candles.
So with the Wacom tablet, it doesn't respond to your touch when you're tracing.
I took off that
Oh,
feature.
that's cool. So she's using, isn't it like a what's it called? Furunosuke pen?
Yeah.
The Tombow, that one. I think it's called, let me look it up. Furunosuke. Tombow is like my favorite company ever.
Yeah, it's a little better.
Maybe that's the wrong name. Ariana says, OMG, I thought I was the only one that traces stuff off my computer screen. You're not the only one.
So the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm making the thicks and thins in the letters, and I know that there's brushes that can do that in Photoshop, but this feels more naturally to me. But I am going to bring it back into Photoshop just to fix some of the inconsistencies, but this is to get the overall thicks and thins.
So it is the Tombow Furunosuke brush pen, and you can get it on Amazon. You can get 2 for $6.70.
Yeah, and I'm actually using this, so that brush set comes with a soft and hard tip, and I'm using the soft tip.
Okay. I'm all for doing this manually, but can you not do this in Photoshop or Illustrator? Says Lynn.
Yeah, you can definitely do it in Photoshop because there's different brushes that in Photoshop emulates this style, but I'm just more comfortable with it in person, and I like the roughness that comes with doing it.
Yeah.
And I like that style.
It's also really hard to get modulation in thickness when you're not using a pressure-sensitive pen in your hand. Like, this brush tip of the pen is creating all the thicks and thins that we would have to actually think about if we didn't have this pen in our hand. We would have to be like, okay, which is the thick side? But when you're just doing this on paper, it comes naturally.
Yeah, and this is kind of, oh, there you go. Sorry. I was thinking about something and saying something at the same time.
You're thinking of things and doing things. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Kushal says, I would make a custom brush to do this. That's cool. Have you ever made other brushes? What kind of custom brush? Not you.
Oh.
What kind of custom brushes have you made, Kushal? Amanda says, my boyfriend is looking at Wacom tablets to get me for my birthday. What do you recommend? I'm so excited I could cry. LOL.
This is a really old model, and there's definitely newer versions. So I don't know. I feel like I would recommend this one because it's smaller and it's portable.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the newer features have that this one doesn't. But this does the trick for me.
I've only ever drawn on my phone in Adobe Draw or Autodesk Sketch. When I'm at work, I only have a mouse. Yeah, well, that's where you can use a pen and paper and then use Capture and bring it in to the computer and then go over with your mouse and refine.
Okay, so we'll use the Capture now, actually.
All right.
And I'll just spruce this up in Photoshop.
Okay, so let's get the Capture app fired up.
Let me just fix some stuff.
Should we
You
put the
plug
phone?
this into her phone. We can see
Okay.
Capture.
Great.
Assuming she has an iPhone.
Yeah, she does. Okay, so when you have a chance, give me your phone and I'll plug it in here. Make sure it's working well.
It's on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, put it on Do Not Disturb so we don't have any notifications.
Is that the moon thing?
Yeah, the moon.
Capture. Okay.
6 or 10.
Is it a 6 or 10?
That's the latest one.
It's the latest one.
Okay.
Do you need
I think it's a
a
10.
extension thing?
No, it's fine.
It's good.
Just do this.
Yeah, she did that so fast. Hi, Tofik, you're new. Welcome. Do you like lettering? What kind of design do you do? Val says the Intuos 4 is great. So is the Intuos Pro. I have the same Cintiq as Kim and I also love it. So there are your options, or a small bamboo tablet. Val's a pro at all this stuff, so definitely heed her advice.
Okay, let's do this.
So here it is.
Should I do it on the screen here? Or
He's gonna show your
Oh.
phone's gonna be on the screen.
What's that music video that kind of looks like this?
Okay, so let's put it over the lettering. Cool. So Adobe Capture is a free app. You can download it and capture shapes, type, materials, colors, you name it. And once you do that, and then erase the extraneous stuff or like crop it, then you have your piece that's ready to import into Photoshop or Illustrator.
So I
and
saved
it's
it.
vectors. Okay, great.
And now what do I do?
So it should come up in your libraries. So if you go on, if you're back in Photoshop,
Oh, okay. So just go back in here.
yeah, it should sync to your libraries. So that little Creative Cloud icon,
Mm-hmm.
that's not that one, in actual Photoshop.
Oh,
Where are your libraries?
right here.
There we go.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
so
it
it's
is.
already there. So you can just
That was so
drag
fast.
it in. It's so fast and seamless. Adobe Capture, free app on your iPhone. Get it at the Apple Store. No, App Store.
Was that your infomercial?
Yeah.
I like it. It's very reassuring.
Everything you create will be awesome. Hi, Min. Hi, Kitsia. Hillary, you haven't been using Capture. Where have you been? What do you do? Just take pictures of things? That's so 2015. I think Capture's been around for the last few years, but it's gotten a lot more features lately, and it's free, so it's a great way, even if you're not using it to bring in and create a composition. Someone said earlier they use it to capture like signs on the street. It's also great to capture fonts that you like. Like if you see a sign and you want to find a font that's similar, you can use Capture to take a picture of that and find similar fonts on Adobe fonts that you can then activate and use in all your apps. Hey Dipangar. Yes, it's the Ari Siri voice.
I feel like I'd rather have your voice in there than Siri.
I know.
Siri's kinda
Shouldn't they
scary.
hire me to be the new? It's just going to be Ari instead of Siri. So this is really cool because it's your lettering that you did on the paper, but you can edit it here in Photoshop and really refine.
Yeah. And it also has the information of the thicks and thins too, that I'm kind of using as like a guide.
Yeah. "25 minutes to submit your portfolio." So if you haven't seen this yet, just check on the portfolio review tab right above the chat here on Behance. And we'll be reviewing a couple today. And then we do have more coming today. So we have Peck, who's going to be live later, half an hour after we end. So you can see the schedule here. This is our last day with Kim. And at 11:30, right after our stream here, we're going to have an Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. And then at 12, UX Design with Peck. So Peck will also be doing portfolio reviews, and you can submit them for his consideration as well. But for us, you have 25 minutes left, and we'll be looking at those portfolios before we have to say our final goodbye for this week with Kim. Isaac loves the rough edges from the brush texture.
Thanks, Isaac.
Huxel, I submitted my portfolio. Cool. Bye, Debbie. Great to have you. Joey asks, have you ever finished a piece with a typo?
Yes, definitely. Actually, most recently.
Really?
See if you guys can find it. It's like one of my more recent pieces.
Oh, on Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay. Let us know if you find her typo. Is it because you got too focused on the letters?
Yeah, I think after, because you're illustrating, so after a while the letters don't look like letters; they just look like shapes, and you're looking at the overall composition. So, yeah.
So always have a friend check for you.
Yeah, but it was a good. Only 2 people like messaged me privately about it, so that was
really?
good. I was like, nobody else noticed, I think. But yeah, see if you guys can find it, I guess.
So will you be posting this finished piece on Instagram when you're done?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So Lynn, make sure you follow. Val can post Kim's Instagram link here so that we all have the profile. Hi, Dianis. How do you pronounce your name? Was that right? Min says, this is so fast. Yeah. Well, we only have a certain amount of time, then we have to go. So we have to show you everything. Alexandra, I totally agree on the letters looking like shapes and how easy it is to make typos.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You get really focused on things and you forget about the word sometimes.
Cutting and pasting lettering is one of my favorite things. It's just so easy, you know, and it makes your work so much faster
Yeah,
to
and you
adjust.
can fix all the spacing.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we won't be harsh if you submit your portfolios. We'll be gentle. Oh, Osman Khan asks, how do you learn calligraphy without Command Z? That's how you have to learn. And then do Command Z once you've learned what you're doing. Do you plan to keep it super sketchy looking? I think it fits the whole curious thing.
Oh, that's interesting. I think I was gonna refine it and have some of the edges be a little bit more sketchy. Not as sketchy as this though, but that's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
Like I like this little texture that's going on right here.
Yeah. And in the bottom flourish, it has that little texture.
Yeah, so maybe I'll keep something like that, some of those in for sure. But for something that's like right here, I definitely want to fill in the gap for that.
When you're erasing, do you also use a texture? Because like Miriam is asking, you've mentioned using texture in your brushes, but are you worried that when you erase it looks too smooth?
Yeah, there is a brush, an eraser that I use that is a little bit of a texture. It is, if you look in my screen here, oh, you can't zoom in on this? Under dry media brushes, Kyle's Eraser Natural Edge
Oh, natural edge.
is really good. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's your answer, Miriam. She uses a natural edge eraser. Anthony, I thought you were saying theme too, but I just verbatim told your question instead of editing it. Techie Viking says, Kim's doing an amazing job. Please give her a pat on the back.
Thanks, Ari. Thanks, Techie.
Anything else you want me to do?
That's really funny.
I'll give her any support.
Ari's been a great support for me this week. I was so nervous to be here, guys, but you guys have been great.
Yeah, everyone's been really friendly. We have a great community here, right, guys? We're all here to support each other. Anthony, 2 thumbs up.
Thanks, Anthony.
And Techie says thanks for patting your back. Huxel, favorite TV shows. We've already talked about our TV shows. We both watched The Office when we were lettering.
Also, guilty pleasure ones too.
Yes. Let's not repeat the guilty
Yeah,
pleasure.
let's
You
not.
can watch day 1.
Skip day 2.
Yeah. Have you been watching Game of Thrones?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Did you watch the latest one?
Yes, did you?
Yes.
So much, guys. So much.
It was such a good episode because it was like everything we were waiting for happened.
I
Like
was-
everyone got reunited.
Mm-hmm. I was wanting to maybe let all the episodes load up and like binge watch it, but just knowing how spoilers happen,
Yeah.
I won't be able to avoid the internet.
Everyone talks about it, so you can't binge on Game of Thrones. You have to just watch it when they come out.
Wait, is this a spoiler if I ask who you think will claim the throne?
No.
Oh, who do you think will claim the throne?
Spoiler alert, Axel.
No, it's not a spoiler. It was just our guess.
I'm kind of hoping that maybe there's a new style of government in the 7 Kingdoms.
Like they all rule?
Yeah, or they like separate or something. Like there isn't one throne anymore
Yeah.
because everything changes so much. What do you think?
Well, I really want Tyrion to rule because I like him a lot.
Yes, he's the best.
He's the best, right?
Adobe Live likes Tyrion.
D, they're not spoilers. We're just doing our favorite guesses.
Munir says, my favorite TV shows have become the Adobe live streams.
Aww.
That's so nice.
Munir, the Adobe live stream is my new podcast, so I understand what you mean.
Yeah, she watches it too. So maybe you'll be seeing Kim in the chat the next Adobe Live.
Yeah,
You
I
think
should-
so?
Definitely.
Now you have all these friends in the chat. They'll definitely say hi to you next time.
Yeah, everybody's been so wonderful. I love it.
Yeah, Anthony, I sing the theme song all the time in my head. This morning when I woke up, I was singing the Game of Thrones theme song. I was like getting out of bed. Dun, dun, da, 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 da. This morning, it helped me get out of bed.
It's a good wake up song. It's the new motivational like wake up song.
Yeah, it's like the new Chariots of Fire soundtrack, which was like da 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 da.
Now I just have to be doing this. Every time I hear that, I feel like I need to be moving in slow motion.
Yeah,
You know?
that's why I was like pretending to run.
The Rocky one is another good one too.
Oh,
Eye of the Tiger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ariana says John would probably be a good king because he doesn't actually want the crown. Yeah, he's very humble and for the people.
He's also kind of hot.
A little bit, yeah. Karan Preet asks, where do you get inspirations for being more creative?
Other artists on Instagram, art shows, local signage. Yeah. I try to avoid maybe finding inspiration like on Pinterest because then I feel like it can make your work look like theirs. Yeah.
But that's not the same with Instagram?
I feel like Instagram is just more for discovering people's process for me.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people post about like, yeah, because on Pinterest you see the final product and it's a very curated, beautiful feed.
Yeah.
And people are posting a lot about their process now on Instagram, which I really like.
That's cool.
Where do you find your inspiration?
I also find it on Instagram a lot. I just I use the save feature, like creating collections on Instagram. Every time I see something I like, I save it there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I also get inspired by signage, and even one time I was in a bathroom and there was graffiti on the wall. Not graffiti. Someone just wrote something on the wall of the bathroom, and I was like, that's a cool quote.
I was gonna say, was it a phone number?
No. 8675309. It wasn't a phone number. But it was something funny, and I was like, oh, and I took a picture of the bathroom wall. So it could come from anywhere, but when I'm getting inspired for my style and the colors to use and stuff, it's usually from other artists on Instagram. I spend a lot of my day looking at that stuff.
And people in the community, the art community, has been very open too. I find that a lot of people that I admire, I'll message them like, how did you do that? And they'll respond and they'll be like, oh, I did it like this.
Yeah.
And I've actually learned a lot from just messaging people that I admire, like how they do something.
Yeah, me too.
Stefan.
And even you, I admired you, and I was like, should I ask her if she wants to be on
Oh
Adobe
my
Live?
gosh.
Should I message her? I was a little nervous.
Oh my gosh.
And then you were the nicest person ever. So it goes to show you people who want to share their process and people who like being creative are usually really open to teaching or sharing or inspiring other people.
Yeah.
So it's very rare that you're going to have someone that won't respond or will say something disrespectful or unhelpful. So reach out to people.
Stay curious.
Keep learning.
Be you.
Hi, Karanpreet. You're new in designing. Well, welcome. I hope you learn something on Adobe Live. Usman Khan says, even Kim is using keys on her laptop for shortcuts. Why does Wacom still put those buttons on their devices?
That's
Do you
true.
ever use the Wacom buttons?
No, I have no idea what they do. There's a little wheel thing here.
They're just
I have no
shapes.
idea. Yeah, I don't know. Does
Val-
anybody use those buttons?
Yeah, Val, do you use the buttons? I feel like if anyone did, it would be Val. She would know what they do.
Actually, Isaac uses those buttons.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He also does, I shouldn't say this. He also doesn't use shortcuts either, and it drives me crazy.
Does that mean that he's slower when he works?
He's
or-
actually really fast.
See, everyone has their own way. Even if you don't use shortcuts or you don't use the same kind of setup as other people, you just find your way.
Yeah.
Val says no, she doesn't use the Wacom
Yeah.
buttons.
Yeah.
She uses the force.
Whoa.
Miriam says, I only use the buttons when I'm sick and working out of my lap. If you're in an armchair and you don't want to get up and use the laptop.
But if you don't know which button to press.
Yeah. I guess it's good because you can set the buttons to do whatever you want, but the effort of doing that and then changing your process is probably feels like too much time for people.
Yeah. There also used to be a remote. Have you seen that?
No.
I don't know if it's this model, but there used to be a remote that you can use to program the shortcuts.
Oh, okay. Very fancy. Yay for shortcuts. I agree. What's your favorite shortcut?
Control Z.
Yep.
Control Z and Control
Were
X.
you happy when Photoshop allowed you to just keep undoing?
Yes.
When you could just do Command Z, and it does what you think it should do?
Yeah.
As opposed to going back and forth?
Yeah, it definitely makes you just be able to create more without thinking about the limitations.
Yeah.
I still had to get used to the new one though, where you don't have to hold shift anymore.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, now all you have to do is Command Z instead of Shift.
Command Z for what though?
Just undoing. Like in
Oh.
Photoshop, you used to not be able to undo.
Oh no, I meant as like, you know when you
Oh.
scale something, before you had the
Oh,
whole shift, constraining
the-
it.
yeah.
Now you can just scale without the shift.
Yes.
But that I forget because it's just so natural to me. So then I actually
Yeah.
do the opposite and distort my shapes all the time now.
I know. It's just that muscle memory thing.
Mhm.
I agree. Yes, Kim is using Kyle's brushes. She's using the Manga Basic Rough brush for drawing. And then she actually used a brush pen on paper for getting all the thicks and thins in the right places. Then she used Capture to bring that back into Photoshop. And now she's refining. And she has the smoothing on more than she did when she just started sketching. Steve says, why are you in Photoshop and not Illustrator? Do you not want it to be vector?
I don't, because I like the roughness of the edges.
Yeah, she still wants to make it look hand done. It's not going to be done with the pen tool. It doesn't have to be vector. It's also doesn't need to be a design that will be like on a billboard or on a t-shirt or anything. She's just doing this artwork that's supposed to look hand done, and she'll be posting it on Instagram. You guys can see the final when she posts it if you follow her.
Yeah, and I posted yesterday's final too if you guys want to take a look.
Yeah. Bye, Wendy. Happy weekend. Already? Are you not working tomorrow?
Thursday is her Friday.
I think your first U in Curious is heavier than the R and the other U.
Yeah, I see that.
Just something to consider, maybe adding more
Good eye.
mass to
For
the other
sure.
letters.
For sure.
So that's something that is helped by using that brush pen, because when you're using a tool that modulates your pressure, it's pretty much gonna have the same thickness everywhere unless you put more pressure on it, but it's a good way to get consistency. You're welcome, Steve. Where am I on Friday evening? It depends on the Friday.
It's not Friday yet though, is it?
No.
Is it Friday where that person is? Hope so.
That calligraphic line before the Curious kind of looks like a dragon. I think it's because we were talking about Game of Thrones that dragons are on your mind. I don't really see it.
So I think I'm going to cut this.
You're taking it out?
No, just gonna
Oh.
squish it.
Ooh.
Squish it to make it look more like the other U. You may not connect the two either.
Yeah, I'm always mixed about connecting my uppercase letter to the rest. Sometimes I think the rule of thumb should be that it doesn't connect, because that gives you more freedom and it helps with the spacing.
And it's kind of awkward too sometimes because it's so much bigger than your other letters.
Yeah. Pokey says, I like how there are leaks of white in the strokes. Yeah, we were saying that about the T flourish and then the bottom flourish, that there's that little white part. It's very cool. D says, it's beautiful. Love your lettering style.
Thanks, Dee.
Thanks for joining, Dee. It's great to see you again. Seen you a few times here. Oh, Graham says, since it's Easter weekend, maybe people have Good Friday off. That's why their weekend's starting early. Yeah,
Gotcha.
a lot of people do.
Good point. I'm actually going to be flying to LA today, right after the stream, actually, to go to a wedding on Good Friday.
Oh, cool. So we have to get you out of here to catch your flight. Are you flying?
Yeah.
This is a big week for you.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to be sleeping well on the plane.
Definitely.
But it's been a really fun week, for sure. Do you have a registry?
No, but I can get you one.
Yeah, can I get one?
We'll be right back.
Thank you. Sorry, guys.
It's all good, guys. I'm just delivering things. So, oh, you don't watch Game of Thrones, Gaurav. That's okay. But you know there's dragons in there, right? Hi, Ken. Cheers from Brazil. So we're going to look at portfolios in a couple minutes.
Exciting.
Yeah.
And I'm just working on refining the shapes.
Mm-hmm.
These guys. Oh my god.
And
Yes.
for those of you that haven't seen this before,
I'm excited.
when we do portfolio reviews, we actually travel. We leave the earth. So if you want to come with us, you need to start gearing up. There's zero gravity, the air is thin in space.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep that in mind.
We've trained for this trip, this mission.
Hi. Oh, another hugs from Brazil. Jonas. Hi, Jonas. Oh, that's a great suggestion, Lynn. She says an Adobe Live on best practices for creating a portfolio with an emphasis on hand lettering.
Ooh. Nice.
Has it been hard for you to create a portfolio? Like, how have you gotten advice on that?
For hand lettering?
Just generally your portfolio. Do you?
I'm
What
actually
kind of
working on
work?
my portfolio right now
Yeah.
because a lot of my work have been apparel graphics, and I'm trying to transition more into packaging and branding. So I've been doing a lot of personal projects. That's one of the advice I've gotten is just to create the work that you want to get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, doing those personal projects and getting noticed is great.
And I've actually reached out to a couple people in the field that I want to go to and asked them, like, hey, when I'm done with my portfolio, do you mind just taking a look and giving me advice on that? So that's another good thing, too, is getting advice from people in your industry to look at your stuff.
Yeah, and the two people we've selected today are going to get advice. So you'll see who they are in just a few seconds.
What?
Hi, Parul from India.
Hey, Pearl.
The sticker meal link is Adobe Live 19. Stick that at the end of the URL. Okay, Kim, it's time. We have to go to space.
Okay, I'm ready.
We'll see you soon, everyone. We just have to travel.
Bye.
Hello. We're ready to review portfolios. Okay, we're back, everyone, and we have 2 great portfolios to review. By the way, you don't have to keep this on forever.
Okay, I kind of want to keep it on forever.
I usually take it off a minute in.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to show you the first portfolio we have. It's Aubrey Fairchild.
Ooh.
Congrats, Aubrey, for getting your portfolio selected and also just for submitting it because I know it's intimidating to have everyone look at your stuff. So,
I'm liking what I see already, though.
Yeah, me too. So Aubrey is from Utah here in the US. And let's just start clicking on, well, maybe let's just look at everything to see the style first. I like all the colors you've used, and it just shows a cohesive style, which is cool.
Yeah, I can tell that your work is very elegant.
Sonora handcrafted organic jewelry.
Oh, nice. So this is a custom logo it looks like you've done.
The Sonora woman embraces all that is chic and modern. This does look pretty chic.
Yeah. And I like the different layouts you've done to show the applications of the branding too.
Yeah.
And there's a consistent color story that I like.
Aubrey says, yay, she's here in the chat.
Hi, Aubrey. Great work. It's beautiful.
So she designed the logo type, the business card, and I guess she did the photography direction. I think it would be helpful to have a little blurb at the top saying what you did because then when we scroll down, we have an idea of what to look for. Like, I assume you did the logo type, but it doesn't say it, so
Yeah.
I don't want to have to assume.
And also, scroll right here, where it says business card design, and then just keep scrolling. Oh, keep going. Direct photography direction. That kind of feels like it's part of the branding, but I feel like that's more of a title for what it is. So maybe keep that separate so it's not mixed in with what the actual branding is going to be.
Okay, I'm taking this off. I can't see the art as well. Okay, so that was that Sonora branding project, and then she has various lettering projects.
Oh, nice.
That's
I love that you
cool.
showed your sketches in there too.
Yeah, I love looking at the sketches. So for this one, we see the sketch right above. Think to thank. That's cool. I like how you use texture. It makes it look really hand done.
I would say make your swashes a little bit bigger here because they're really pretty and they look like they would make a nice cohesive pairing with the type. But right now it feels very quiet. And I definitely think you should make it a little bit bigger and maybe find some connections that you can put into the letters as well.
Yeah, and the letters are so bold that you don't have the danger of overshadowing them with more with bigger flourishes. This is cool.
Yeah.
Great job with making it look 3D, kind of that sign painter look.
That one's fun.
Cute.
Yeah. I love this one. I like the way you incorporated different colors into the letters. That's very creative.
One thing I would say is watch, I can tell that the letters are different heights. So make sure you always just use a ruler and have a line below the baseline and above. And then you can catch something like the R looking bigger than the N and making sure that all of those are the same. Because that will just elevate it and make it so much more professional looking. I love the colors that you used.
Yeah.
Okay, fairy tale book collection.
Oh, pretty. Did you do the patterns on the books too? Because those are pretty. I love that water kind of wavy looking one. That's great.
Yeah.
Nice. It looks like you took these all yourself.
I would totally buy these. Even if I had the books already, just because they're so pretty. Oh, look, and the illustration has like the
Oh, the
pumpkin, the
pumpkin.
shoe,
Oh, nice. And the
the
mouse.
mice. Yeah.
Love the little details in that.
Oh. And it's great that it's black and white. It's very subtle and classy.
Yeah, I can see this being like a little collection that you get. Like a little vintage collection.
Great photography.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So was that a personal thing that you did, or were you hired to do those books? And then Fleur magazine. Cool.
Beautiful.
So again, I want to know what you did. So a little blurb at the top saying, I created lettering and did photography. I don't know what you did, but I'm just making it up for this magazine, and just giving us a little overview of what the magazine does, who the audience is.
Yeah.
Very nice. Oh, a seamless pattern collection.
So kind of like that, right? The title and like the description.
Mm-hmm.
This is really pretty.
Do you sell these patterns? Are they available? Oh, yeah. If you're interested in licensing, that's nice. That's great because you have an easy way for people to contact you.
Can you go back to that one?
Yeah.
So
The
I also,
bottom?
yeah, the bottom. I also have some patterns in my work too. And what I would recommend is, you see how you have a thin black line around your patterns? I know that you do it because it's like a white background and you want to show the separation, but I would probably recommend, just to have for a cleaner look, to make a very, very light gray or a light color behind all those patterns as a way to separate them versus doing the lines. Because I think that just makes a cleaner look.
That's great advice. Oh, she says the books were a school project. Cool. So is there anything you particularly want to open from the other parts here?
Scroll up a little bit.
We've looked at all of these top ones.
Maybe the mermag.
Mhm.
See that?
Whoa!
Whoa! It keeps getting better.
Very cool. Mermag.
Nice.
Logos and icon. So this looks like an app.
Aubrey, you do everything.
Yeah.
I love it.
Multidisciplinary. That should be in your bio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see how like the background of this one right here is slightly colored?
Mm-hmm.
Try that for your patterns.
Summer to-dos with your doll. Oh. So this looks like a kid's app. Oh, it's a kid's store.
Yeah, so it's like the catalog and posters for it. Nice.
Nice.
Did you take these photos, or are these stock images, Aubrey? Let us know.
Also, I think that a good way to have more stuff in your portfolio is you could have this whole logo exploration be its own project on Behance.
Right, yeah.
And then have all this other design stuff, like have one that's like lettering and logo branding design, and then editorial design, that kind of thing. So it really shows how much you do, because having it all in one project doesn't do it justice to show everything that you're capable of. And for this, you could show like sketches and more rough stuff. Like we said earlier, we love seeing those sketches, and I think a potential client would love seeing your process. Let's see one more thing from here before we go to the next portfolio. Should we look at this one?
Yeah, let's see it. Nice. Your photography work is great too for your portfolio.
Yeah. That's so pretty.
Is this somebody you know, or is this also a personal project, Aubrey? Oh, it looks like maybe somebody they know.
Oh, there's different ones, I guess.
Oh.
These are different. This is Rachel and Spencer. So it looks like you did a whole suite of invitations.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And so much work went into this photography.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I appreciate that you also have a very consistent style and in your work, but also in your way of presenting. I think that it makes your overall portfolio looks very polished.
Oh, another one. So you've done a lot of wedding work. What do you think of doing wedding work, Aubrey? I think a lot of people love doing it, but what about the brides? Are they hard to deal with? Aubrey says, I made these to sell as semi-custom suites on my Etsy shop. Okay.
Oh, that's smart. So like templates.
Yeah.
It's a
Very
great idea.
nice. All right. So, Aubrey, you have shown us that you can do anything, basically. It's very impressive. Thanks for sharing your portfolio with us. And hopefully we gave you some good advice.
Yeah.
And then the next one I'm going to show, let me get out of here, is Graham Brown. Congrats, Graham, for getting selected. You're a graphic designer and marketing coordinator from Florida.
Hi, Graham.
Hey, so he's a Michigan-born boy creating wavelengths in St. Petersburg, Florida. Okay. Tampa Bay design.
Nice.
Whoa.
That's a really nice sketch. My sketches do not look like that. That's great.
And a really cool picture.
And that's the finished work, I think.
Wow.
Nice.
So here I would like to see a little more of the process because this sketch is very refined and it looks like you have a very good way of like, you look very mathematical in your process. Like you've mapped everything out.
Oh yeah, look at those tiny little ticks right there.
Yeah, that's cool. So maybe show us how you started out thinking about the style of the letters, because from 0 to getting to this T, I'm sure there was a lot of thought and like different options.
Yeah. And also maybe, I don't know if this is just a project to write the Tampa Bay, but if there is a description of the project too, put that at the beginning.
Yeah. My Bay's Closet.
Logo and t-shirt design. Nice. I like the shadows that you did in the letters. Like that M looks really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. The texture and shadows makes it really stand out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a whole style guide too. Awesome.
Nice. This is what we like. I enjoy the idea of hand-drawn type. I appreciate my work more when I put more effort and time into the design process. Very good.
Yeah, so I think whatever you're doing here, definitely implement to that first one that we saw, because these are great to see your thought process behind these.
Yeah, and it looks like you had that shading idea from the beginning, and it translated really well digitally.
Oh, what's this video?
Oh. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, so you referenced some other brush lettering. This typeface is called Cortado. You can find it on Adobe Fonts. Wow, so you did a lot of different options. That's great. You need to supply that to a client sometimes because you want them to have good options for different applications. Nice. So this is unclear to me if you worked on these designs as well.
Mm-hmm. After designs the logo, we then work on t-shirts to be printed and sold around the world. Yeah, maybe make that a little more clear what those images are for. And if you worked on them as well.
Very cool. Nice process. Letter B. Whoa. You love this decorative lettering. That's really cool. And you use these pens. Takes a long time.
Yeah. Is this an alphabet that you created yourself? Like, I wonder if did you create the whole alphabet with this style? Because it'd be cool to see.
Oh, so I think he was talking about my Bay's Closet when he says this was a personal project to showcase my logo process for potential clients.
Oh, gotcha.
That's great. I think you could get a lot of clients by showing that. St. Petersburg sticker design. So he's from St. Petersburg. So maybe this was another personal project to get out there. Wow, I love this picture.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
This is the kind of stuff that people go crazy for, like on Instagram when they see all your sketches and stuff.
It really shows you put a lot of like effort and detail and thought into your piece too. So do you always, I wonder if he always works into like paper. It seems like that's how his process is.
Yeah, it seems like you're comfortable on paper. He hasn't done the whole alphabet yet.
Oh, you should.
Victorian calligraphy is a fun passion. Yeah. And I like your little, this guy.
Manatee?
Is he your little art director?
He's so cute. Oh, that's a sticker.
Beautiful.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
That's so great.
My one thing is on that P, maybe make the bowl of the P a little bit bigger. Because right now it's a little small. And it's uppercase, and I feel like it's just, it will balance it out with the S.
Yeah, so you have a lot of empty space down here. If this came down, that would balance out the S, and it would also fill that empty space.
Yeah.
So I think that you're really good at getting all this detail, and then maybe before you do your ink, spend a little more time thinking how the shapes and the white space balance each other out.
Yeah.
And then you'll notice that, like, maybe making your strokes more consistent, like this side of the A compared to the N is very thin. So look how heavy INT are and how light A is. And just see those things. This looks great, but we're just telling you like little things that could elevate you to the next level.
To make it like a lot more polished, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, the details in that is great.
Well done, Graham. Thank you so much for submitting. I like that you're in the chat following along, just like Aubrey was. And Aubrey says that she wrote down all of our advice.
Oh, yay,
She's gonna
Aubrey.
do it. So thank you, Graham and Aubrey. Well done. And we can't wait to see how you improve and grow in your career.
We'll be following along your work,
Yeah,
for sure.
we should follow.
Yeah.
I'm using this other account right now, which isn't my primary Behance account, so I will follow you on that one when I sign out. So let's go back to Kim's screen and just recap what we've been doing. We have another 5 minutes to talk about that. So please watch the replays if you didn't tune in the last couple days, because we did a lot of different styles of lettering.
Yeah.
And Kim is going to keep refining this, and she'll post the final thing on Instagram. So be sure you follow her. We also have been talking about the 36 days of type the last couple days, and I know a lot of you are participating. So keep looking at the hashtag 36days_Adobe and using that hashtag, and stay tuned with Adobe's competition that we're doing with 36 days of type, which is super motivational, makes you like get work out there every day. It's definitely helping me as I'm posting a letter every day. So it's been a cool exercise. Jimmy has an interesting question. Are people maintaining both personal websites and Behance pages? Are they differentiating the content? Do you have a personal website?
I do, but I'm not sharing it right now because I'm working on my portfolio so it's going to be completely different.
Okay.
But That is an interesting question. I think that once I finish it, I will duplicate the exact projects on my website and my Behance. Just because you don't know who's going to be looking at your stuff and you don't know how they're going to be looking at it. So to get all of your stuff out there in many different forms as possible.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't want to have a great piece that you have on your website that's not on your Behance, and what if nobody knows your website?
Yeah, you'll miss out on a client
Yeah.
who didn't, maybe they don't have a Behance account.
Right.
Or they're a little more old school. And I was thinking about that. I was like, oh, I don't have a website and everything's on Instagram. And you don't look as legitimate if you don't have a website, I feel like.
I'm
What
not
do
sure.
you think?
I think that I'm not sure about that question, actually.
Yeah, I think it depends what kind of clients you're trying to get, because a lot of clients will just look for a traditional website, and then if they don't find that, they're less likely to, maybe they don't even have an Instagram. So you're just casting a wider net the more outlets you share your work on.
Yeah, I think I have a Dribble account. I have a Working Not Working, Behance, Instagram, personal website.
You got it all.
I got it all.
Okay. So just to tell everyone before we go, what are your next steps going to be on this piece? Because when they see the finished one, just to give them an idea of what happened between this and the finished one.
Yeah, so I will definitely be refining the edges, fixing where the thicks and thins are, because like up here, this needs to be a little bit more thin. This shape down here also needs to get a little bit more refined and a little bit bigger. And then overall, just looking at everything and making sure that it is balanced and all the shapes have a relationship with each other, like similar shapes. Yeah.
Nice. So it's almost there.
It's almost there. You'll see it soon. Maybe I'll do this on the plane.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not sleeping.
If I'm not sleeping, yeah, that's true.
So Kim's going to be getting it on a plane right after this and going to a wedding.
Yeah. Oh, and if you followed me from the first stream, I'll be doing a Kickstarter for my cactus pins, so keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, so she has all these cactus pins here. She'll be doing a Kickstarter to make more of these letters, because currently she only has 9.
9 letters.
And we want more. Everyone wants the letter of their name. So if you want the letter of your name in a cactus pin, make sure you DM Kim so she gets the pressure. Because she said when she created more letters, it was mostly because people asked for them.
Yes.
So that's some advice.
So if you don't see your letter, let me know.
Yeah. And we should start saying goodbye to everybody. Thank you to Adobe Live for your compliments. Goodbye, Heidi, Tiana, Stefan,
Anthony.
Val, of course. Val, thank you so much for all your help this week.
Thank you.
And Graham and Aubrey, thanks for submitting your portfolios, and everyone who joined. And make sure you watch the replays if you weren't with us the first couple days, because there's a lot more.
Yeah, I went through a lot of different
Content.
styles that you can check out.
Yeah. And any last words to say to the audience?
Stay curious.
Make sure you stay curious.
And eat snacks so you don't get hungry.
OMG snacks. Keep practicing your lettering and your design.
And message us on Instagram or Behance if you have any questions. We will definitely be able to help you.
Are you sure you want all these messages?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm ready.
She's ready for you. So DM her on Instagram. Okay, thank you everyone, and stay tuned today. We still have a daily challenge coming up right now for XD, and then Peck will be live at 12 p.m. Pacific doing another XD stream.
Bye,
so
Kushal.
we'll see you soon. Bye,
Bye, Joey.
everyone.
Bye, Isaac.